Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton Knave. Vrooom, Vrooom, Vrooom. We've got to Vrooom. It is the 90s and it is time for Vrooom. Very clever. It's an EP. This clever idea of having an EP of something before the album. And apparently this financed Thrak, so they could record Thrak more professionally and everything. So that's a really good idea. And and intentionally or not, you get the listeners on board, ready for the full album, rather than the full album being a new thing. They're already ready. They've got half the material on there already. And almost certainly the reviews of the final album might be better because there's nothing unexpected. They know what to expect really. It's a calling card rather than a love letter because it's an EP. An album is a love letter. And a live performance is a hot date. And the real hot date is Vrooom Vrooom, I think. Vrooom Vrooom is the one you really want. And we have, from here, or maybe even from here to here, what we have really is heavy, dirty riffs. Exactly what was missing from the 80s. Exactly what was missing from the 80s. And yet it really does feel like a natural progression, particularly when you listen to the 83 studio rehearsal albums. You can hear that progression. You can hear the progression. It is a natural progression. It feels like it is anyway. There's certainly no Sheltering Sky or Waiting Man here, nothing like that on here. One of the songs is not on Thrak, only one of them, and it's 1 minute 35 actually, and it is on Heavy Construction in a slightly different form. And at least one of them is substantially different, you could argue as well. 31 minutes and 4 seconds altogether. Backward looking for the first time. That's a big thing. Maybe you kind of, is this halfway through? Getting near to halfway through their career, might be. We don't know yet, obviously, but it seems that way. But controversial. I mean, obviously Crimson up to this point were always forward-looking and very, very little backwards-looking. There's still very little played live from the old stuff. But it's ace. It's King Crimson. It's it's what we want, isn't it? Really, it's almost giving the fans what they want in a way, but in a good way. It's a classic. Not just trading on past glories at all. It's doing new stuff. I say this is the start of the fourth epoch of the band. So the first epoch is the first 4 albums. Second epoch is the Wenton era. Third epoch is the 80s. This is the fourth epoch. This is the 90s. Which I think that it starts with this and ends with Power to Believe and the tour of that, I think. Maybe 2008 tour as well. It's the start of a new trio of albums starting with Thrak as well. And the big difference about this era is things, or at least it feels like that there was an attempt to let things happen more naturally. So rather than we have to make an album now, they let it come out naturally. It means there's only 3 albums from 94 to 2003. There's only 3 studio albums, but there's a hell of a lot of other stuff, so it's fine, and it's all going to be very interesting. The band itself, I'm going to talk about next week on Vrooom Sessions. So you have to wait for next week to talk about the double trio, but let's do the songs. And track 1 of the Vrooom EP is Vrooom. It's slower than what we remember. It's slower than what's familiar, but it makes it more lumbering and possibly heavier actually. And it does include the Vrooom coda. Not listed as a thing here, but we'll talk about that on the album. Track 2 is Sex, Sleep, Eat, Drink, Dream. This is a development of the Baloo thing, obviously the lyrics, but also the music as well. Typical of this new epoch. It's the wordplay, obviously, like Elephant Talk, the heavier riffs. Absolutely insane, sort of middle 8 kind of solo bit, where basically there's some different time signatures happening at once. I think the guitar's playing in one and the drums playing in another. Or maybe Pat Maslotta and Bill Bruford are playing different time signatures, and it makes it very funky. I've never worked out what was actually happening there, but it's very cool. Track 3 is Cage. This is the one that's not on Thrak. It's a great song, really fast. Lark's theme, really fast basically. I prefer the lounge version on Heavy Construction. But there's a lovely melodic chorus and a Adrian Belew style dissonant bit. Great riff. What else do you want? However, track 4 is Thrak. Now, Thrak is a thing. That mental riff. Is it the heaviest King Crimson ever got? Is the period after this the heaviest they got? Maybe. It's more intense actually than the final album version, interestingly I think. Although it got more ridiculous and more over the top as they toured, which was great. So yeah, you've got this middle section of freeform stuff, basically. And first of all, someone continues playing the riff. I think that's probably Fripp. There's some really cool Baloo soloing, which is low in the mix. And what happens is it starts off as music, almost, and then eventually it will always just degenerate into thracking, and because this is the double trio, you can imagine the cacophony that's coming out. I mean, it's frightening stuff, it really is. But what's interesting about this version is when the riff comes back in, either Bill and Pat haven't noticed, or they just ignore it and they don't care and they carry on doing something else. And then it just stops. Interesting. So it is like a incomplete Thrak, or a Thrak demo, maybe. But yeah, really good. Track 5 is When I Say Stop, Continue. This is a rare bit of non-Thrak improv. So it's improvisation, which the Double Trio didn't really do outside of Thrak. Certainly, well, pre-1997, obviously. It's cool soundscapes, looped stuff. You can really tell how the technology has moved on since '84. You can see what they were trying to do in '84, and the technology wasn't quite there. Maybe. There's some call and response noises, kind of stuff, and some really cool sort of chugging stuff. I think from Tony Levin. Obviously, in a way that you couldn't really do with the '80s band, is this is the improvisation. It's not jamming, so you can compare it directly to the Wenton era. It's more electronic. Actually, it doesn't have that much in common. Not really. It's a very different sound. There's an earthiness to the Wenton era stuff that this doesn't have because of its electronic nature. Maybe that's why it wasn't pursued, because maybe they thought, well, it's good, but you know, we've got Thrak to do noises and stuff. It really gets good as it starts to build. It's only 5 minutes 18, but it does start to get going. And then you've got Adrian Belew playing these really high notes and harmonics, and then the rhythm suddenly starts, and then Adrian Belew says, right, come to a dead stop after I count in, so let's make it into a proper piece of music we can put on the album. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then some of the bands stop. Some of them don't. So that's where the title comes from, which is quite funny. Again, it's the kind of thing you couldn't have on the album, but could have been on the Vrooom sessions, but it would have been very good for the Vrooom sessions. You can't fake these things. You know, it naturally comes to a stop, or it doesn't. But that became a thing in itself, and made it the track it was. Track 6 is One Time. I think this is Adrian Belew's one of his finest ballads. It's really good. The riff is Fripp's, or the arpeggio is Fripp's. Tellingly, all the way up to 2003, when they were playing Eyes Wide Open, was the only ballad they were playing. They actually replaced it during the tour with this one. That's a testament to how good it is. So there it is. It's the beginning of a whole thing. But next week I'll talk about the band as well as the Vrooom sessions. See you then.